we find ourselves in a series of parashios discussing the Exodus, discussing the redemption from Egypt. There are a number of themes that pop out at us. Right? There's oppression, redemption, some really cool special effects, but there's some things which we might not notice, which might get sort of skipped over while we're busy focusing on all of those prominent points. There's attention which is given by the text to man's ability to make free choices. At the opening of this week's Parashat Bo, Hashem tells Moshe to approach Paro, and God tells Moshe, "For I have hardened Paro's heart in order to place my signs, the plagues, among him." Hashem is telling Moshe that he hardened Paro's heart. He took away Paro's ability to choose to let the Jews go because Hashem wanted to make more malchus. Hashem wanted to make more plagues. Each plague had its own message. Each plague was its own revelation of Hashem in a different way. And Hashem wanted that to happen, so Hashem forced Paro not to choose, not to make the obvious choice at that point to let the Jews go. Hashem didn't allow Paro to do that. But the question presents itself. Why is Paro punished for something he did not choose? If Paro was not a free agent to choose over here, to let the Jews go, how can he get those plagues? How can he be punished for that? This is a question that many of the commentaries deal with, and there are a number of different approaches to that. One answer, given by the Ramban and others, is that Paro chose to be a person who could not choose. He brought himself to a place where he no longer deserved the opportunity to choose. Free choice is what makes us fully human. It's what differentiates us from animals who have no ability to overcome personal desire for a higher moral cause. Paro's repeatedly wicked behavior resulted in perhaps the greatest of his punishments. He no longer controlled himself, but was merely a puppet. He may have ruled over the entire Egypt, the world's greatest superpower at the time, but with his repetitive bad choices, he no longer deserved to rule over himself. But is free choice really a good thing? The Gemara tells us of a dispute between the school of Shammai and Hillel. Is being born a good thing? Is being given the opportunity to live a positive thing? With the liability involved and the ability to make wrong choices, is the risk really worth it? Eventually, both schools arrive at a consensus. We would be better off not being born. Taiv la'adam shaloi nivra misha nivra. We'd be better off not being here. Really? A good God created us for our benefit. How can the Talmud teach that we are better off not being here? Rabbi Yitzchak Hutner, a prominent 20th century rabbi who actually studied in Humboldt in Berlin, explains that of course God creating us is the greatest testimony to that being born is a positive thing. But there's a caveat. God created us in his image. Just as he has free will, he empowered us with free will as well. That will is incredibly powerful. Rav Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, an 18th century philosopher and Kabbalist, describes how man's choices affect a slew of chain reactions in upper worlds and lower worlds. Although these are invisible to the naked eye, they're there. That will is an incredible privilege and an incredible responsibility. Yesterday, newly inaugurated Joe Biden received the nuclear football, a briefcase containing the U.S. nuclear codes. That briefcase is part of what makes him one of the most powerful men in the world. If he recognizes its danger, the power that he wields, and acts responsibly, he indeed makes himself job worthy. But if he is fickle about it, if he thinks it's not a big deal, that is incredibly, incredibly dangerous. When we recognize the responsibility we have been entrusted with, the inherent danger of free choice, and how terrible it can be when we are unaware of it, at that moment, our free choice is redeemed. It no longer is a weapon of mass destruction, but a tool that can create and build worlds.